The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
It's showtime.
It is showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Circle Debate Podcast, episode 124, 124. Bienvenidos, señoras y señores. Aquí Circle Debate, the host of TV's One Ivan C here with my brother. He is Mr. DeLorean himself, but, I'd rather let the intro explain it for itself. So let me just go ahead but yes, of course, that intro needs to explain itself. So,
hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
You don't need roads when you're with Mike DeNiro at Wrestling Delorean Podcast and also Circle Debate because he takes you back in time everywhere, anywhere, especially in the world of professional wrestling. That is right.
Most definitely. Doing good, man. Mr. No Roads Necessary, the Marty McFly of Wrestling Podcast is here. I'm definitely excited. Definitely excited. Big episode today.
Oh, yeah, man. We've been a hell of a hectic week of busy. As you saw, a lot of content coming out here on the channel. Besides also Circle Debate and Wrestling DeLorean, but you have a lot coming out still. So there's still a lot more happening. But before we even get into anything, we're going to go down the road to heading to NXT TakeOver. But before we get into it, I just want to give a shout out, of course, to the man, the harbinger of truth, Jeremy Prophet, ladies and gentlemen, as he made his debut this past Monday on YouTube on the AEW Dark Elevation. Shout out to the harbinger of truth and Jessica Black, who was known as Jessica Neary. So shout out to, once again, to the harbinger of truth, Jeremy Prophet, for a fantastic mixed tag match that he had against Penelope Ford and Kip Saban, and I enjoyed it. It was a wonderful matchup, and I cannot wait to see more of the harbinger to Jeremy Prophet. What were your thoughts on it, Pinero?
I think that he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He went out there and he put on a hell of a show. He looked like $1 million. He looked like he belonged, and he looked like he lived up to the occasion. So definitely big shout out to Jeremy Prophet and Jessica Neary. They did amazing, and I think that if AEW was smart, and if TK's listening, sign this man up because he has all the tools. All the tools.
Absolutely. He does have all the tools, ladies and gentlemen. And, man, Prophet, I'm happy for you, bro. I cannot wait.
And everybody check out that Jeremy Prophet interview, the one that we had with the DeLorean and the one that you guys had a year ago on Circle Debate. We have 2 interviews with Jeremy Prophet on this channel, and both of them are amazing. So if you're interested in learning more about Jeremy Prophet, check out those interviews.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. And also now we got the update with Carl Anderson. Carl no longer, as he made on his social media platforms, the announcement that he would not be at New Japan Battle Autumn. So and his agent, Big LIG, of course, Big Doc Gallows, was the one who was supposed to be booking his according, quote on that. So it looks like he will not be appearing on New Japan Battle Autumn. So, if you heard it earlier today at Wrestling DeLorean, basically they could, Kofi Weasley, shout out to Kofi Weasley, the Dirty Heels, they could strip him off the belt. I mean, but what do you think of this case? I mean, do you feel that's going to happen, or do you feel like New Japan will allow him to continue to be the never old weight champion since he's not defending it at Battle Autumn November 5th?
I hope that they continue to let him. Fantasy booking, I would love if he continues to not defend it, and then on a random episode of Raw, Hikuleo shows up and takes out Carl Anderson. Like, motherfucker, you got to face me in Japan. Like, don't run away. You know what I mean? But I don't see that happening. But, I do see possibly that he's probably going to get stripped because, like Kofi Weasley said on the DeLorean today, New Japan is known for not playing around with their belts. They don't do the interim titles. If you don't defend the title, you're getting stripped. I believe John Moxley, when he was the U.S. champion for the first time, he was stripped because he couldn't make it due to a fucking earthquake. And he still stripped it. Like, it was like, oh, well, we understand it was an earthquake. It was like, all right, well, you're stripped, and when you come back, you'll get a title shot. So they don't play with their belts. Unless, we talked about this last night on the New Japan show with Tim King and Dan Bakley. We may be thinking a little too much about a partnership here, but if there is a partnership, then this all plays into something. I don't think that Carl Anderson goes on Twitter or Instagram and shoots that promo unless that there was a bigger plan in play. If they're just going to strip him of the title, then why have Carl Anderson say, oh, I'll defend this title when I want to defend this title? New Japan will just come out and say, hey, due to the double booking, whatever, we're going to take the title away from him and we'll book another matchup. So it's because of the fact that, you have that promo on his Instagram page that I still think that there is a partnership here, and I think that there's a bigger story to come. So it's going to be very interesting on the upcoming weeks.
I agree. I mean, you hit it right on point. It could be. This could be something that, is probably behind the scenes that we don't even know about. So what's going on. And what is going on, Dan Bakley? That's right. And I haven't read Naito's opinion about it yet, so I'll look into that and I'll give you my to the chat. But shout out to Dan Bakley from Cage
Most
Mike
definitely.
Q. Make sure you guys subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, even though we're taking a little DeLorean brief, from last Friday Rampage, because the Kingdom made their debut at Rampage, attacking FTR after the matchup they had against, of course, the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage. But we did see, the Kingdom of Mike Bennett and Matt Taven and Maria Kanellis, of course, making their debut. And I mean, are we seeing a full-time? Could it be All Elite? Could we see a Kingdom reunion with Adam Cole? I mean, could we see that happening, De Niro? Could we see it? Adam Cole, baby, that's right. Could we see the reunion?
I hope so, because I like Mike Bennett and I like Maria a lot. To be honest, I made it clear last week, and it's no disrespect to him. It's just my personal taste. I'm not the biggest Matt Taven fan, but I always found Matt Taven a little bit more tolerable in this tag team because I feel like the Kingdom tag team is a lot better than Matt Taven's singles run. And that's no disrespect to Taven. It's just that for my taste, I'm not the biggest Matt Taven fan in the singles run. So, there was word that WWE was interested in Matt Taven, but not Mike Bennett and Maria. So we saw them separated. I think that what's better for both of them is to stay a tag team. So I hope that this is a full-time thing with AEW, because not only would they add more depth to the tag team division, but when the Ring of Honor show eventually does come up and it's on like TV or on a streaming service, you have a tag team that's a former Ring of Honor tag team champions on that show. People that, if you're a Ring of Honor fan, you already recognize. You will recognize Maria, Mike Bennett, and Matt Taven. So I think that it would be cool if this is a full-time thing with AEW / Ring of Honor.
Oh, man, indeed. I mean, I would love to see them, being added towards the roster. Not only just helps the depth of the Ring of Honor as well, but also with the AEW's tag team division, which I know we haven't seen much of it lately. I was hoping to see, the Acclaim defending the titles every other week, but yeah. I don't know what's going on there. TK's booking, unfortunately, we know how it is. We digress about it every week here on the show. So there's really not much to say about it. It's unfortunate. But adding, I know people really is not much of a fan of Matt Taven, but guess what? I am. Reason, because he's underrated. I know that people don't give him his credit when he won the Ring of Honor World title in 2019, but this guy, I mean, he's just, for me, he's like a second version of Raven to me. He's mysterious. I know that. That's like, wait a minute, that's a bold statement, Ivan. I know.
I see more Scotty Flamingo than Raven.
Well, yeah, maybe Scotty Flamingo. Because he's Scotty, yes, from WWE and Raw, yeah, but no. I mean, Taven, to me, he's just a persona that is just really you question what is it exactly. But then again, you get invested. I mean, Mike Bennett, we know his credentials, another fantastic star. It sucks that, WWE, dropped the ball on him. I wish they could have done better with him instead of that couple's persona. No. But I wish they could have done something better with Mike Bennett.
It was doomed when his name was Mike Kanellis. And not
oh, my God.
I was like, God damn, bro. Cut the man's balls off. God.
Oh, God, right? Like, Jesus. I did not like that at all either. I think I wish I would have used his last name, but it makes sense. Copyright, trademark issues, of course.
Yeah.
You already know.
And also, Maria was from WWE beforehand, so I guess they figured Maria's the biggest star coming back, and Mike Bennett's being introduced. So to show that they're married, let's make it, Mike Kanellis. But
oh, Adam Cole mentioned them on the Twitch yesterday. I'm pretty sure Adam Cole made the call to Tony Khan. Hey, help my boys, man. They need some help out there.
That was an underrated faction in Ring of Honor, especially in like the 2013 era. Adam Cole, Mike Bennett, and Matt Taven, and also Matt Hardy was a part of that too as the original Kingdom. I really do like that team, and I always thought that they were awesome. I remember my first Ring of Honor show in Philly when I went to the ECW Arena for Ring of Honor for the first time. It was AJ Styles and the Young Bucks versus Matt Taven, Adam Cole, and Mike Bennett, and that was one of my favorite matches of all time that I saw live. So I think that three-man team is definitely a good team to have on AEW.
Oh, man. I can't wait. I'm really excited to see what's the outcome of it, especially right now that you have no Bobby Fish and no, Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, this could be, we might see heading towards that direction of the Kingdom, reunion. So
not to go too much on the tangent, but I would rather if Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole separated, because I feel like they've been joint at the hip for their whole careers, have Kyle O'Reilly do his own thing. And if you want Adam Cole to have a faction, I would rather him be with the Kingdom because, I mean, what's Kyle O'Reilly going to do? You're going to have them team up and then eventually going to have dissension. And we're going to do everything that we've seen in Ring of Honor and in NXT with Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole. So let them do their own thing. Adam Cole with the Kingdom, Kyle O'Reilly does his own thing. I think it'll be better. It'll be more fresh than having the same shit that we see every single company between Cole and O'Reilly.
Or unless you have the Kingdom and, Kyle O'Reilly and Fish. Let's say, for example, you have about 5 of them. They go after the Elite. And you can have the Bucks, Omega, Hangman, and you can have Brandon Cutler. Go after
please. Maria could be Brandon Cutler.
There you go. I mean, at least someone. I mean, maybe they could bring someone on, along. It's Marty Scurll, but that's not going to happen. I mean, that's a wet long shot. But
if the Briscoes aren't allowed on TBS, Marty Scurll's not even allowed in the U.S. television.
Mm-hmm.
My only thing with Kyle O'Reilly, I feel like we saw in NXT before he came to WWE, he outgrew the Undisputed Era. He outgrew his partnership with Adam Cole, and he proved that he could be a world title contender in the singles division. I just would hate if he's constantly in a tag with either Bobby Fish, even though he's a great tag wrestler. I feel like he has a lot that he could prove in the singles division. And if you do the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, you could have it perfectly against the Kingdom with Adam Cole. I just want to see Kyle O'Reilly get a little bit more because Kyle O'Reilly is always like joint at the hip with Adam Cole. He's always in his shadow.
Indeed. I can't wait to see. We'll see. We know what it turns out to be. All right. Just very brief. I want to recap on this. Triple Mania. Of course, it happened this past Saturday. It was an incredible event. Right now, now we know why Hijo de Viquino is number 8. It was the top 10 of the PWI rankings. It makes what kind of sense. Phenomenal matchup, main event between him and Rey Fénix for the Mega World Championship. That's 720 from the second top. I mean, it's the second rope. Wow. I mean, this guy, you want to talk about Spider-Man? Shit. I mean, that, he is Spider-Man. So, I mean,
definitely.
Man. And then, of course, seeing, Ty Valkyrie succeeding by retaining the Reina de Reinas world title against Camille, which another great matchup. And shout out to Camille because she put a fantastic performance in this matchup against Taya, and the whole crowd was really into it. Very, very livid. I was really very happy that they were involved in that. And in the main event, I guess this was actually the main event. Say Pentagon Jr. versus and Villano number 4, Mask versus Mask. Bloody hell of a matchup. And of course, Pentagon winning via Villano's number 4, Mask retiring his mask. And it was an emotional moment for Penta. He had his family there. He had everybody rejoice, and Villano's Ford family was there. So it was a high emotional moment. And man, without the Lucha Bros, and Taya and Hijo de Viquino as well, and other stars there, man, that 30 Plus is another one that I know a lot of us do not cover, but it just, man, you can never go wrong with 30 Plus on their pay-per-view events, especially with Triple Mania. So I don't know how you feel the same way, De Niro, about this.
Oh, 100%. Triple Mania is one of the biggest shows of the year that I always look forward to, and I love AAA just for the fact that I remember like years ago, my dad would put on Telemundo and show me AAA. So I used to watch a lot of AAA with my dad. So I always have a special place in my heart with AAA. I love this show. This show is a fucking banger. For Triple Mania, this lived up to the hype. The women's match, the Reina de Reinas match, was amazing. And I love the chemistry between Camille and Taya. this is not the first time that these two women faced. They faced off in other promotions. They faced off in XPW. They faced off, and I believe they had a match in NWA. And every single time that these two women get in the ring with each other, they bring out the best out of each other. So this was no different. Amazing matchup. Phoenix and Io Del Vikingo was, I loved it. I don't know how any of this shit was possible. I felt like I was watching some lucid dreams or something because there was no way that this man pulled out a 720 from the second rope. And even the shit that he did something where he like bounced up on the second rope to the outside and did like a fucking Phoenix splash. Insane. And that's not taking anything away from Phoenix too, who is one of the best high flyers of today. Just an amazing, amazing matchup. I do hope that we do eventually get Kenny Omega back in AAA so we can have him have his rematch finally for that title. I know that was supposedly the matchup that they were going to go with, but then he got pulled from AEW because of the suspension. Yep. But that main event between Pentagon and Viano 4 was insane. That shit was a bloodbath. I've never seen, that much blood come from Pentagon Jr. Even in his match with Vampiro in Lucha Underground, where it was a bloody brawl, you didn't see him lose that much blood. I always think it's funny, though, in these mask versus mask matches when the winner's mask is still all ripped up and you see his face as well, because you could practically see all of Pentagon's face from that.
Oh, my God, yes.
By the end of that matchup, his whole shit was ripped open, so he might as well have lost. You see his face. But definitely an amazing matchup. Yeah, I mean, Viano 4 is a fucking legend, so shout out to him unmasking, but that was a very, very bloody brawl, and I love the respect shown afterwards. Really, really cool moment, and AAA is always hitting home runs when it comes to these big pay-per-views.
Absolutely, indeed. I mean, shout out to Conan for doing an incredible job of being the booker for AAA. Yeah. He's doing wonders even for his health conditions that he is, but Conan's a strong fighter, and he's continuing on, so I'm really, really happy.
Most definitely.
Man, shout out to you, Conan. All right, now it's time to get into the predictions of NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Hosted by Shotzi and Quincy Elliott. Quincy is winning me over little by little, even though people are not liking him, but he is winning me over somehow.
He has a lot of charisma.
He definitely has the charisma that I'm really excited for him. So, man, let's get into the first matchup, and that is, I think this is for me, it's going to be the first matchup, and that's going to be, of course, the ambulance match. Julius Creed versus Damon Kemp. Break it down to your own. Who do you got on this one winning?
This one's a really intriguing matchup, especially with both of these guys coming from the Diamond Mine and having what up, Tino Time? Thank you for being here. Having Damon Kemp turning his back on the Creed brothers and on the Diamond Mine and being the one to take out Roderick Strong. I think that the stipulation going into this is if Damon Kemp wins, then his Julius Creed's brother Brutus Creed will also be gone from NXT. And I don't know how much of the Creed brothers you've seen on NXT, but they remind me of a young Steiner brothers, yes, which is very ironic because you have Little Steiner in the main event, but still, this is going to be an awesome matchup. I think it's for sure Julius Creed is going to win because you're not going to have Brutus Creed, who's well over with that crowd and is amazing in the ring. I don't think they're going to have him gone from NXT, but this has been a storyline that they've been building up for quite a while, so I'm going to really be excited to see how they finish this, especially in the ambulance matchup. But I'm giving it to Julius Creed.
Julius Creed, okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to go with you, Julius Creed, as well. I do like, the Creed brothers. You hit it right on point. They're just like, the young version of the Steiner brothers. And, man, these guys could go. I really like it. Kemp, I was really shocked that they brought him up early, like, into the television platform, knowing that he is, Kennedy's younger brother, what's his name? The Olympic champion. What's
the guy. Name? Yeah, fuck. The dude that they brought up and you haven't heard of him again.
Yes, that is
Gable Stevens.
Stevenson.
Yeah.
Stevenson, there you go. That's his younger brother, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so to see that they brought him up on national television that quick, I was really surprised. But I like this feud that seeing then Roderick at the hospital with the with the neck brace. Oh, you better do it for us. For Diamond Mine forever. I like Roderick, man. Another one who I really adore watching him since PW's DJs. Oh man. So I'm gonna go with you, man. Roderick, Roddy, man. Roddy, I love him. So I'm gonna go with Julius too on this one, man.
Cool.
I'm going with you. All right, and then we got the next matchup here. Let me pull up and that is of course. Let's see. Pick that one. Oh, there you go, Apollo. There we go. So we got spin the wheel, make the deal. Apollo Crews versus Grayson Waller. Break it down to us in there. What do you got on this one?
This one, I think that you have to have Apollo Crews win. Grayson Waller's been talking a lot of shit. I like Grayson Waller. I just don't think that he is necessarily as good as people make him out to be, and that's just my opinion. I do like Grayson Waller though, but Apollo Crews I think wins this matchup. I love that they're bringing back the spin the wheel, make a deal, because that's the original Halloween Havoc. If you remember the Halloween Havoc in the 80s, that was the gimmick. So love the homage and the nod to WCW here. And I think that it's going to be interesting. It all depends on what stipulation it lands on. I know that they got a lot of crazy stipulations added to the wheel this year, including the Ring of Fire, which is basically an Inferno match, which is very ironic because last Friday we were talking about Inferno matches with Kane. But it would be really interesting if they make this an Inferno match. But anyway, I think that Apollo Crews is going to get the victory here. I see Dan said that Grayson Waller. I think it would make sense because you do bring – I was mentioning on my podcast the DeLorean earlier today. I said that I do like the fact that you're taking these main roster guys, bringing them down to elevate guys that are not at that level and bring them up more. I think that, maybe we see one or two matches more. You have Apollo win this, and then Grayson Waller wins the feud as a whole, because the whole point of having him go against Apollo Crews is to make Grayson Waller elevated on that roster. So I definitely think that, maybe this is not the one that ends the feud, but we'll see what happens. First blood match would be cool. I totally agree, Dan. I think that it's going to be really cool to see what it lands on. I always wonder with these wheels like this and the Raw Roulette, I always wonder, are these worked or are these gimmicked? Because are these shoots or is this a work? Because how could you control what it lands on unless you pre-tape it 1,000 times until you get where you want it to land on? Because there's some crazy ass stipulations, you know what I mean? Say you're not prepared for an Inferno matchup, but it's the Ring of Fire it lands on. Like, I don't know how they do this. It's very interesting, but it reminds me of the conversation we had last night about the coin flip in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
But I'm going with Apollo for this one.
Oh, man. I want to see what that is. They keep sending guys down to feud with Waller, and they need to let it be a guy like that. I'm happy for Apollo that he's back down there again to try to reincarnate his character.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are going to feel about it, but I really did not like the fact that they try to make him like, he's from Nigeria. This is my real accent. And I'm like, nah, that's bullshit. Like, no, no way. I've been saying it for, I've been following, Apollo's career for quite some time. The problem with the issue with him is his charisma. He has it, but he is not serious. He's too smiley.
I was going to say smiles too much.
Smiles too much. And that is the issue. And that's why a lot of people like, Papa Vinny couldn't take it much serious. And I know that Triple H will try to do whatever he could do, and Michaels as well, to help him find that reincarnation for him, and hoping that working with his younger talent, because I don't think it has nothing to do with his in-ring skills. For me, it's more about his mic works, his everything. Everything what he does is where it's a 50-50. Sometimes he knocks it off the park, sometimes he strikes out. So that's the only issue I feel that with Apollo here. But with Grayson Waller, seeing Grayson Waller, his character is very intriguing. I'm trying to get more invested in Waller. I don't watch much NXT, but when I hear his name, the guy, that means he has something going. So I'm really happy for him that he's getting at least his momentum going. But this one, I'm going to have to go with, I'm going to go with Apollo this one. I'll take Apollo. All right. And then we get into the ladder match. For the vacant North American Championship, Carmelo Hayes, Oro Mensah, Wesley, Von Wagner, and Nathan Frazier. Break it down to us. What do you got in this?
The amount of talent in this matchup is insane. There's going to be so many crazy spots in this matchup, especially out of Nathan Frazier, especially out of Carmelo Hayes and Wesley. Like, there's so much high-flying talent in this. And then you have the powerhouse in Von Wagner, which is a very intriguing wild card in this. If this was a couple months ago, I would say Carmelo Hayes for sure, because Carmelo Hayes, I think, is probably, in my opinion, the best talent right now in NXT. But I don't think that Carmelo Hayes is long for NXT. He's already doing shots on main event on the main roster. So I think that he's probably going to be coming up soon. So I don't see him coming up with the title. I think that it's probably going to be Wesley, who's been elevated since he's been separated from MSK due to the unfortunate reasons. So I'm going with Wesley. Dan says Nathan Frazier. I can see that too, because Nathan Frazier had some amazing matches lately with what's his name? Axiom. That was it's always hard for me to say that name, but yeah, that series of 3 matches he had with him was some of the craziest high-flying matches I've seen in NXT in a real long time. So that would be a good bet too. If you remember, that was Ben Carter, and he did some shots in AEW, and AEW was interested in signing him, but WWE swooped him right up. But right now I'm gonna go with Wesley because I think that he's really elevated his game since becoming a singles competitor on NXT. But yeah, it could go many different ways. I just don't think Carmelo Hayes is going to win it. I think Carmelo Hayes is going to be on the main roster before we know it.
This is a tough one for me. I like Frazier too, but you know who's gonna? I don't know what the fuck do they see in this guy, but I have a bad feeling. They're gonna.
I know where you're going.
They're gonna. Oh, wait a minute. We got someone here. Oh, and here he is. Oh,
hey.
I can be clear despite all the noise. Endlessly echoes the sound of your voice. The sound of my voice. Found one that belongs to the boy that destroys. Open my eyes to the sound of your voice. I gave up on existence. Set up with forgiveness.
That's all you get, ladies and gentlemen. November.
That's all you get. Wait 20 more days.
Make an entrance.
That's an entrance for sure. That wouldn't be a bad. That would be a bad entrance for like an NXT superstar.
It's not. Hell no.
That's not a bad idea. I should probably shop that. Shit, I should shop that around. I'm not even joking. I could probably shop that around.
You could. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. The director, the one and only, the host everywhere, anywhere, the one with the badass guitar, the one and only. Director Chris Kenner.
Love the Dahmer glasses. Back at it again. Back to the future.
We're almost towards the end of here. If we had like 3 more matches for the takeover, but who I wanted to say was going to win the ladder match for the North American title, they got to give it a fucking edge. Number 2, Von Wagner. That's the only reason.
Man,
they've been pushing that. I hate to say that. I want Wesley, but Von Wagner, I have a feeling he's going to be the one who's going to take it out of nowhere.
I can see that happening too. They are big on Von Wagner. I just don't see much in him, unfortunately.
Oh, the Banger Podcast is here. That's right. TK.
What up, Tim?
Wesley gonna wait. Yeah, I chose Von, TK. I chose Von. And
I'm going with Wes.
See, look, you have the Gargano effect, director. There you go. The Gargano effect. There you go.
Oh, I do? Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm the Poison Pixie, everything. She's chilling.
All right, now let's move. We're almost there towards the end before we get into Dynamite. All right, we have Roxanne, Cora Jade. What do you got on that one?
This is going to be a real good matchup. A lot of intensity. This feud's been building up and boiling over. I like the fact that on NXT this past week they had the Pick Your Poison, and they brought in Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez to be a part of this storyline as well. I'm going with Roxanne Perez, because Booker T's there now, and Booker T's probably pulling for his girl. So going for Roxanne, even though I do see a lot of upside for Cora Jade as well.
I'm going to have to go with Cora Jade. I think this is going to extend this damn feud. Something tells me that Roxanne might be put up to the main roster because she did a hell of a performance on the main roster last week. And shout out to her, man, because man, her career has ever since from Ring of Honor, being and participating in Women of Honor, and then for her going up to NXT, I'm really happy for her. Yes, this should be a good match, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Cora too, man. I think Cora might win that one. So
you can't go wrong with either pick here.
No, you can't go wrong with it. All right. And we have the NXT Women's Championship. Mandy Rose versus Alba Fire.
This one's hard because there's been many different times where I think that this is the one where Mandy Rose loses the title, but she finds a way to retain. Alba Fire has been on fire, no pun intended. Her reign as the NXT UK champion was legendary. So I think that if anyone's a threat to Mandy Rose's title, it's going to be Alba Fire. And I wouldn't be mad at it. I think that it's time that we switch it up a little bit. And to be honest, I personally would like to see the whole Toxic Attraction back up on the main roster. So I think that this is the way you take the title off of her, give it to Alba Fire, and then have Mandy Rose and the rest of Toxic Attraction back on either Raw or SmackDown.
Okay. I think Alba Fire. I think she should win. I really like to have Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction to be at, he mentioned, like back to the main roster. Kaylee Ray, can you please give her a fucking name back? I don't.
Yeah, this Alba Fire shit's weird.
This Alba Fire is fucking weird, man.
And then
I don't.
You should never put a Y in Fire because of how bad the Fire Fest failed, and it's just weird to put the Y in Fire. You know what I mean? After the Fire Fest, so watch Netflix WWE.
My mind went to Jada Fire, but Google it if you don't know.
You might have to Google that.
You might not have to Google that, but have fun, kids.
Get Alba Fire, bring man. Yep, please. That's for sure. And now the main event, of course, for the NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc, the triple threat match for the NXT World Championship. You have Braun Breaker defending it versus Eli Dragunov and JD McDonough. Take it away.
This should be a really good three-way. Braun Breaker is really growing on me. I'm a fan of Braun Breaker. I know a lot of people have not been too keen on him. They say he's a little too generic. I personally like that he's like a homage to WCW with the Goldberg-like spear and the Steiner brother-like offense. But
did he last night cut his dad's or his uncle's promo?
He has been. He's been doing the math promo and all that.
He has been, right? I saw it. Yeah. I didn't watch it, but it was something like Braun Breaker hits this with some math. I'm like, he did not.
Oh yeah, he did that a couple weeks ago. Since it's a three-way, you have 33 and the 3% chance of winning, God. And the fans picked it up instantly too, and it was hilarious.
That's a huge pop. I gotta watch that. I've been meaning. I'm gonna watch the last night's NXT for sure.
Yeah, last night was really good.
Yeah.
Ilya Dragunov, the guy who dethroned Gunther. He's an amazing wrestler. JD McDonough is also a really good wrestler. I think that this is going to be a great three-way. But just like Carmelo Hayes, I think that it's time you start to plan for Braun Breaker being on the main roster. And the way you take the title off Braun Breaker is the way that they teased it last night on NXT. I think that we may have a cash-in by Austin Theory. Because last night that they teased it, Austin Theory basically showed that Money in the Bank is also eligible in NXT. And I think that with Austin Theory being, kind of lost in the shuffle right now in the main roster, he's a big fish in a small pond if he goes to NXT and could really, continue to build on his character, build on his wrestling ability. On the main roster right now, I love Austin Theory, but I feel like he's still too much of a small fish in a big pond. Oh, I didn't even know Austin Theory was on the stream with us. But yeah, so definitely, I think that either one of I don't think Braun Breaker is coming out of this as champion. I think either he loses it to Dragunov or McDonough, or we have Austin Theory cash in, which I think would be the best bet because Austin Theory, Braun Breaker, having a short feud before Braun Breaker coming up sounds like a fun feud.
I agree because I don't see Papa H doing anything with Austin Theory. I think him cashing in, him coming out on this past NXT, I think this past Tuesday, it makes sense why for him to fucking go ahead and cash in. I mean, yes, maybe it would have cashed in. I mean, you never know. I think we could see. Yeah, you know what? At the end, I think who could I pick? Who could I pick here? I think I'm gonna have to go with. Yeah, Austin Theory cashing in would be. Yeah, it will be. Yes, it will be a good, cool twist. Oh man, I think I would give it to you. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think because he never, he vacated the NXT UK title. He never lost it because he was injured.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, might as well, I think, make Braun Breaker a 3-time NXT World Champion. Or, I think it's too soon for him to go to the main roster, in my opinion. He has a lot to do.
He would be the first 3-time, right? Joe had it twice. Shinsuke had it twice.
Yeah.
Finn Balor had it twice. Yeah.
That makes sense. I think they would do that just to put that prestige on his name. They say that like the man doesn't make the belt, or the belt doesn't make the man makes the belt. I think this is a case where like it's kind of both ways.
Yeah.
Where that the prestige on that belt really never kind of lost, in my opinion, even during 2.0. So because it's been with Breaker the whole time, except for like I think what Ziggles had it for like a week, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Ziggles not like that.
Yeah, isn't that his name? Has he ever been called
Ziggler?
That?
Ziggler.
Yeah, I know his name, but I feel like he's been called Ziggles before. Like
that's the first I heard it, but I love it.
All right,
I'm gonna call him Ziggles from now on.
Yeah, I think a three-time champ separates him from the pack, and then he can go to the roster.
Most definitely.
Love it. So I'm looking forward to make sure, guys, you tune in this Saturday on the cock and watch NXT take over a Halloween Havoc. And yes, of course, very announcement, very brief. Before we get into Dynamite, it is time to announce the winner. We're going to spin that wheel. Who is the winner of these 2 fabulous tickets coming up this Friday for PCW Ultra, set in stone, as of course I will be there live. I'm hoping the director will join me after his music video. Who knows? You never know. He might do the Gargano effect show out of nowhere, but that's depending on him. If he's able to show up, I'm hoping he does, because he hasn't gone to PCW.
But I want to. I'm not saying I don't want to. I got to make time.
Absolutely. But let's go to the wheel and let's see who wins these fantastic tickets coming up for this Friday. So let me go ahead and share my screen momentarily here. All right, there it is. It's time to spin the wheel. We have Cosita, what a mess. Javier H, Mimi's, and of course Nando M and Jose P. Let's see who gets these tickets. Let's spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel, make a deal. Cosita.
Hey, congratulations, Cosita, for winning these 2 incredible tickets for PCW Ultra Set in Stone this Friday coming up. And of course, let me just share once again the flyer once again to let you guys know that is right. As you're going to have Viva Van defending the PCW Women's title versus Sumi Sakai. The main event, the Fatal 4-Way for the PCW Ultra Heavyweight Championship. Alex Hammerstone versus Shaft versus Simbody and a mysterious man who I don't know who it is either. I'm not Dave Meltzer, Alvarez. And even if I did know you, I am not going to tell you guys for shit. Sorry, you guys going to come watch the show.
She's Hammerstone, Simbody. Who's the third? Shafe. Who could that
Shafe, yes. That could be it. We don't know who that is. And of course, Liz Dorado versus Jay Vidal for the Ultra Lightweight Championship. Shane Hayes versus Puma King. Tio Leona versus Papo Esco. And Casey Navarro versus Lucas Riley. Ultimo Dragon will be there in action. Danny Lyman versus Matt, the aerial chemist, Vandergriff, who we had on the show, along with Lucas Riley as well. And breaking news, Bad Dude Tito from New Japan Strong will be there as well. I'm excited to see if I can get him on a quick interview. So I'm hoping for that.
That'd be fire. Especially how much we talk about him on Tuesdays.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Let's see. Bravo. The mystery man is Yeti.
It's the Yeti!
The Shockmaster. It could be.
But congratulations, Cosita. That's a dope card to go to. So congratulations for sure.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Let's see, Ultimo Dragon, dope. Yep, I'm hoping to get a picture with him. Hopefully, I could talk, speak to him. But we'll see.
I'll send you my translator to make a quick run in Cali.
1 second. You keep going. You talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, I'll wait. I don't know what he's gonna do, but okay.
I hope he comes back with like an Ultimo Dragon mask or something.
I hope so too. I think he might come with that.
I hope I didn't spoil it. I don't know if he has an Ultimo Dragon mask.
I don't have any masks. His mask was kind of
right.
I had to check on something. I'm gonna have to go do something in a couple minutes here, like for just a minute. But I had to go check, and I couldn't do it right now. So
no doubt. I think he's gonna come back with the Ultimo Dragon mask, the cape, the fire behind you, Sonny Ono.
That would be sick.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is that time. Let's fucking get into it. It's not favorite time, but it's time for some dynamite. That is right, some dynamite that happened, of course, 24 hours ago. That's what we're doing it today instead of our flagship Thursdays, because this happened on Tuesday due to the, of course, the NBA opening season, and of course with the Major League Baseball playoffs. Fucking Dodgers. I don't want to talk about that, but yes. Yes, this was a special Tuesday night of Dynamite, and man, let's get into it. We'll get into the matches. We'll give our brief thoughts of course, little segments here and there after the matches. But now let's get into the first match of the night, and that is, of course, the AEW Trios Championship. Death Triangle versus. You got to do it, director, because you can do it better than me.
What am I doing? Oh, the best friends.
That's right.
They don't come out to that no more, though. They come out to, I don't even know what that song is. I know it's a good song. I just don't know what it is.
Jefferson Starship is Jane.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know why they stopped using Pixies. I know they paid a lot of money for that, so they should bring that back.
I like that song better.
Yeah.
Where is my mind?
Way out. In the yeah, I know that song. That was a brain fart real quick. I'm thinking about other stuff right now. Check the DMs.
But man, let's get into it. Well, first, I'm like, great opening matchup. I did really enjoy it. We did see it for a minute there that Pac wanted to go heel style, grab the hammer for the ring bell, but Ray Phoenix like, "What are you doing? No, hermano, no lo hagas." Like what? But of course. They close pinfall could have been former Trios, and then, Orange Cassidy being a two-time, being not only also the All-Atlantic, but also being a Trios. But I really enjoyed it. It was a great opening, and I'm hoping, can we get past some of this storyline? I feel like maybe we might get one more between Pac and Orange. That's what it looks like to me. Because it's not over, even though they won the match, they retained. But I'm hoping they head to another direction because seeing Pac and Orange again, I'm not invested much. I mean, that's just me. Everybody has their own cup of tea of it. But great opening match. So take it away, De Niro. Break it down for us, brother.
I thought it was a good opening match, like you said. I like the dissension in Death Triangle where the Lucha Brothers are still baby faces, but Pac is clearly going more heel. Shout out to the Lucha Brothers after we just talked about two very insane matches at Triple Mania and then putting on a great show just a few days later here on AEW. I thought it would have been weird if they lost the Trios titles to the Best Friends and making Orange Cassidy a double champion. And just 2 weeks ago, Pac was the double champion. But this is a feud that's been going on for a long time. So I hope that after this, we do see another direction for both teams.
Indeed, absolutely. Director.
Yeah, the dissension is definitely the variable here. I think what could happen, or what I would write if I were in the writer's room, was I would have a singles match between Rey Fenix and Orange Cassidy for the belt. And Orange Cassidy is winning. And then Pac comes in, uses the hammer on Orange, causes the DQ for Orange to technically win. And Rey Fenix is like, bro, what the fuck? I was winning that match. That's the next logical move if you're going to start splitting up Death Triangle.
I like that.
I mean, my fan fiction, it doesn't always come true. That's what I want to see.
Most definitely.
I like that. Good shit.
Such good shit.
Oh, no, you asked for it.
Sorry.
You did.
Such good shit.
It is such good shit. You can't go wrong with it. When the director speaks, it's always good shit. That's right. And of course, the AEW Women's Champion. I'm not saying intern, all right? No intern. Fuck all that. It's a women's championship. I don't give a damn what anybody says. It's a women's championship. Toni Storm versus Hikaru Shida. And I liked it. It was great. I like the fact that they mentioned they haven't seen each other since the last 10 years in 2013, or since I believe it was Stardom when in a 6-man tag. But show me a video of it. Show me a picture. At least give me that. I thought we were heading towards that direction, TK.
Yeah.
But we didn't. But it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm at least I'm happy they mentioned that. But I mean, great back and forth match. Shida, on the other hand, she's looking great. What I'm really happy, one thing though, I want to, refresh you guys' memory. I'm really happy that she's finally getting cheered. She never got it.
I'll be back again. If you check the group chat, you'll understand why.
No worries.
Got you.
But yeah, I'm really happy she got her cheered.
Oops! My space bar for my pause button is also the play button on my recording session.
What's going on, Jeff? How are you? But yes,
what's good, Jeff?
But that's the one thing I really enjoyed about Shida. It just now the fans are finally cheering for her. She's finally getting her momentum, and I was so happy for her, man. I was really, really happy. It's during the pandemic, of course, era, she was the women's champion, the AEW women's champion. So she did not have that crowd momentum that what Britt had and what Toni Storm is having currently and Thunder Rosa having. Seeing Shida finally getting it, I'm just stoked for her. I'm really, really happy, and I'm hoping we see more of it, and hoping we can see more constant of Hikaru Shida, not on fucking Elevation. Bring her, put her on Dynamite, or Rampage. At least have her go after the TBS. Give me something to have me get more invested with Shida. We know her credentials. It's there. She holds 2 belts from 2 different promotions up in Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo Yoshi Pro DDT, and then I forgot which is the other one. But other than that, I'm loving this matchup. I enjoyed it. And then, of course, the aftermath, we did see Riho, how Jim Cornette would say, came up to the rescue because Jamie Hayter and of course, Rebel beat down Toni Storm. Which, by the way, I'm like, what the where's Shida at? She just took off. So I did not expect that. I'm out of here. I like Britt teasing he will be a champion by the end of the year. I think his Hayter will be getting a title shot. Was Britt feuding with? Maybe so. Yeah. It all depends. I agree with you right there, Dan. And then, of course, we did Saraya's music hit. Her attacking Britt Baker, which I'm still fearing for her. I'm still cringing every time when I see oh my God, your neck. Wait, don't do anything. But I was just so scared for her.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't want to overshadow that for this match, but this match was great. I enjoyed it. I'm happy for Shida that she's getting her momentum with the fans and hearing the fans. Let's go, Shida. Let's go, Tony. I'm happy. I was invested and happy for Shida. De Niro, the floor is yours.
I really like this matchup. This is the first time in maybe 4 or 5 weeks on AEW Dynamite that we got just a straight up one-on-one women's matchup. And this matchup definitely delivered. Great chemistry between the two. Good action. And yeah, Shida deserves to be over. Shida's been she's a former champion, first of all, for AEW. She's a great wrestler. She always puts on a great show. So definitely, I'm glad that the fans was getting behind Shida as well. Good matchup. I think that Toni Storm definitely is not no fucking interim champion. She's been putting on banger after banger, and I think that she's a great champion. Like the post-match shit. I like the brawl between Saraya and is it Saraya or Saraya? I always fuck that shit up. Saraya. Sorry. Saraya and Britt Baker. And then I like the return of Rio. I always liked Rio. The only thing is, if Rio didn't look like a little schoolgirl before, this outfit made her look like she was 12 years old. But Rio is still a great wrestler. I think that, people sleep on Rio because of her size. but she is literally one of the best women in Japan, and I always love Rio's matches. So cool to see her mix it up here. Just what's it called? Yeah, I hope that, going forward, I say it every week. I just hope that we continue to push the women and continue to get more storylines and character building for these women on the show.
Indeed. One thing I do want to digress on this, though, even though how you mentioned that we digress about women. Does it really? Did it take this long for Tony Khan to decide to now? If you noticed how he's now booking, and this is where it just throws me off a bit out of tangent, because I'm like, let the video. I'll let the video explain. I'm like, I
cannot believe this shit.
That's how I am, because it took this long for the whole Thunder Rosa situation to get a center of attention by the media and the IWC community when they took a little part of your press conference saying, I'd rather give the other piece of shit, I'm not going to say his name, more time than my champion. It took this long for that to happen. And now your book, and I'm not disrespecting Toni Storm. I'm saying it right now before anybody jumps the gun that I'm knocking her. No, I'm not knocking her. That's what I'm saying. She should become a women's champion, not an intern at all. But did it take this long for Thunder Rosa to be the set of example? And now we're seeing more Toni Storm being booked every week. But now this is the first time we've seen her in single matches. And, most of the time you'll see her in 6-mans, 8-mans, or tags. I'm just digressing the fact, because why did it took this so long for this to happen to Thunder, in which I hate that it happened to her. And it didn't happen to the others in that women's division. And it sucks. I'm digressing because it pisses me off that Rosa did not get her fair share and was not giving this weekly basis fucking booking. She did not get those weekly basis bookings. So, you tell me if I'm digressing here, because
you ain't. Because I'll tell you this right now. We were calling it out when she was champion. How many times have we said, where the fuck was Thunder Rosa on this episode? Why is Thunder Rosa not defending that title? Why is she shown every once in a blue moon? Why is she cutting promos when she knows, when they know that that's her weak suit? I feel like, just my opinion, I feel like it was personal. I think it's personal. Tony Khan does not like Thunder Rosa, and I think it's personal, because it's not just the fact that she was barely booked, but it was the fact that he went on to the media scrum and said, I would rather give CM Punk time than Thunder Rosa time. He said it verbatim. That's not even me fucking making. He said, leading up to All Out, he said, when people say, oh, well, when CM Punk had to relinquish his title when he was injured, how come he got a 8-minute promo and Thunder Rosa got 30 seconds when she had to relinquish her title? And Tony Khan said, what is more compelling television to you? A CM Punk 8-minute promo or a 8-minute promo from Thunder Rosa? I'm going with CM Punk. That's what he said.
That makes sense. So why wouldn't that make sense?
It makes sense, but why would you say that to the media? You're burying your talent.
That's true.
We all know it's the truth, but you don't bury your talent to the media. If that's how you personally feel, don't tell the media that. You know what I mean? That's some Dana White shit. And I feel like he takes a lot of
Dana White's rarely wrong, in my opinion.
He's rarely wrong, but still, you shouldn't be talking shit about your talent. But I feel like
you have to use fiction to create your talent. It's not like UFC where you can talk shit on a guy, but as long as he keeps winning, there's not much else you can say. Yeah. Where the guy who is programming the narrative is talking the shit that he's programming. It's like,
yeah, you're really shit talking yourself at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Joke's on you, Tony.
The joke's on you, Tony. The joke's on you, TK.
That's fucking bullshit.
You're full of bullshit, man. You're not booking women right, but I was just going on a digression because that's what gets me mad about. Like I said, I'm not hating on Toni Storm. It's just I'm hating is it took this fucking forever for that attention to get to the women's, for him to start now booking Toni Storm weekly, and not, that's just me.
There's other champions he needs to book weekly too, because there's a lot of champions on this roster that we forget are champions, so they're not on the show.
Thank you. But director, go ahead and take it away with the match, and we'll tell you what digression after this. But take it away on this in women's championship.
Yeah, Toni Storm is putting respect on that belt. She's a fighting champion, like I believe Excalibur said. She's in and out every night. She's like John Cena with the U.S. belt, man. She's just defeating everybody, and it's her belt. There's no interim at all. She's defended it more than Thunder Rosa, held it longer than Thunder Rosa, and beaten more than Thunder Rosa. And this was a pretty decent match. She's beating former champion, which I love. That's how you put prestige on a title, is you beat former challengers or title holders. And she's doing that, and I like that booking. And it was a good singles for once on a Dynamite. It was a one-on-one match with. Was this the Britt Baker came out? Then the run-ins at the end of it. Cool. Yep. Love seeing Rio come back. Former champion. She's gonna beat her. They're setting it up. That's the storyline. Love it.
What do you feel about Saraya though so far? Well, you know how you saw Saraya taking down Britt. I mean,
she's hitting bumps and stuff. I don't know. Again, it's pretty in the dark on how cleared she is. I don't see her getting I guess you could definitely give her an immediate title shot if she's cleared to wrestle. That would make sense in the world of like her name goes. So if that's what they're building to, and then she drops the title to Saraya, I would not be too stoked. So we shall wait and see.
Would you book Saraya to singles match?
I think Saraya is one of the best women wrestlers of all time. I am high on the Saraya. Like my top 3 best all time are literally AJ Lee, Saraya, and Charlotte in that order. So fluctuate the Charlotte thing. Maybe Charlotte might be number 1, and then AJ, and then Paige. But those are my top 3 greatest in-ring athletes. So very controversial opinion, but it's mine, so I'm going to keep it.
It's mine.
I saw when you put in the chat that was called about the Charlotte being the GOAT, and I'm right there with you. I think that Charlotte's the GOAT.
It's hard to argue. You can't. Like, she's good everywhere. She's just physically gifted in everything she does, and she flies, she wrestles, she's technical, she subs, she's flashy, she's great entrances, great on the mic. She's flip-flopped heel face more times than Big Show, and she can handle her business. So
yeah.
Saraya will be slowly.
I know that's an awkward way to say it. I guess that must be Irish or something.
Saraya will be slowly pushed like tongue before slipping. Oh, it's fucked up. Why would you say that? Oh man! You know we're TV. Shots are fired. Speaking of shots are fired, that's when we head into this fucking segment that Ed caught, and I was like, oh man, I was.
Hey yo, what the fuck? You son of a bitch.
That's right. Oh my god! I'm gonna say this right now, man. MJF, I think directed praise it too. I think we all of us have here. It's fucking. These are the golden promos, man. This guy, this promo. Here's one thing that I was little fear was when he mentioned the word. I can't say it here because YouTube do really look into, especially those type of words. The K and the yourself. Mm-hmm. They really. By the way, yes. So if you ever, for all of our audio platform listeners or anybody who does video content, do not say that word because YouTube will ban you.
Are we saying the word that I think we are going that we're not?
I can't say. I'm not saying.
No, it's the phrase. You know,
it's the phrase.
Myself.
The phrase myself. I can't say that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you were thinking of another word. Also, there's another word. My mind just went. I mean, I can't say dark because that's pretty dark too. But yeah, okay, I got you.
Were you thinking of a former TNA wrestler?
Definitely not. I was thinking of a very derogatory term to the upbringing that Maxwell had in his religion. That also.
Yeah.
I thought maybe someone had said that, or he had said that somewhere and got in trouble.
Oh. No. What I was saying that, like, I wonder if the
self-harm situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna say something about that because I'm like,
Yeah.
why the fuck would he say that on national television? Like, you know, that's a whoa, you know. But
he's the devil.
Yeah, he is. El Diablo.
Also, if that's really like, if this is 100% the way he felt, then maybe this is just real feelings.
Yeah, because I don't know if there was backlash. Is there backlash against him, like from TNA, TBS or something, or
not that I heard of?
Nothing I heard of either.
Okay, we're just watching ourselves and other podcasters on that phrase.
Yes.
Right. So if he did mean that, and he could very easily, I don't want to say hide behind it, but he could stand behind that sentence and say that if he genuinely felt that and someone came after him for saying that live, he can be like, how dare you judge how I felt? I was being honest. So good on, it's good on him for saying something like that when he meant it.
Yeah.
So it's a dark place to be. It's, yeah, for sure.
Take it away, director. What are your thoughts of this damn segment? Man, this is an Oscar right here, man.
All right. So, remember last week when we said MJF when Adam Hangman Page came out and he cut that promo against Mox, and we're like, next episode of podcast, we're like, man, Hangman Page can cut a promo. Who knew that Hangman Page could really work a mic like that? Yeah, MJF just said, hold my yarmulke, and took him to school. Here's the issue I have with MJF is he is 26 years old, and every time he reminds me of it, it hurts my heart in a good way. It breaks my heart that he's so fucking good at that age. He's 26 and he knows exactly who he is as a wrestler.
Yeah.
And that is one of the hardest things to do. It's hard to find yourself in a shoot, in reality. But to find like a version of yourself that is also you, I don't see a lot of this. It's like he may not be as spiteful and as hateful as he comes off, but this is a lot of him coming from a place that he's been. And you can see that in this promo, that story, I never for a second doubted that it was elaborated on or brought to 11. I thought this was just 10 across the board of truthiness. Now, the salt on that snail is Regal smirking. At first, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know if he was breaking character, if he was laughing, if he had trouble being serious in such a serious moment, or if he was also impressed with the skills of MJF being, at the time. I couldn't read that until Regal got the mic and handled business from his point of view with the sunshine. And you haven't earned anything you've worked for yet, but I wanted to light that fire under your ass so you would. And it did kind of put out the fire of the MJF speech in a sense where I was like, that is a good point. He's making a lot of good points here. Kind of like, yeah, that is true. That does seem kind of like how MJF still has a lot of proving to do and how he takes shortcuts, and how the point of this promo was that, okay, so now MJF knows that now he has to he took off the diamond ring. We'll see we'll talk about what happens at the end of the event. How he has to now, he knows he's better. Now he has to prove it instead of just say it. And the Regal counter debate to that was super solid. I didn't see it go in that direction, and it almost kind of like extinguished all the fire that MJF had just lit, but in a good way, in a way that was like, damn, all right, cool. I still think this leads to MJF fucking doing us all dirty, taking just chair shots to Regal because he's not a common decent villain or whatever the phrase is. I don't know what that phrase is. I like that phrase, but I've never heard of it. But I think that we're all getting trolled into thinking that, yeah, he does. But I mean, that was the heel character at first. Was that, Wardlow did the dirty work, the Pinnacle did the dirty work, Inner Circle did the dirty work for him. We saw that he took 120 days off and came back in the best shape of his life and worked Wheeler Yuta in a legit match that he won clean. So, I mean, we know he can wrestle, but the character is to avoid fighting and only handle business when he has to. And last week he did. And then so we'll see the future, but I think he's gonna try to play I'm a bad guy trying to make good decisions. I think he's gonna troll us and he's just gonna wreck shop and destroy Regal and then just be the ultimate heel that he was born to be.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm really gonna fucking remember this ad. Okay.
That's what I want. He brought up the like, I'm a common decent villain. We don't, inside the ring, if you stand inside here with me, it's all fair game. But with you, what you've been talking shit to Tony Schiavone since before you were born, I would never put hands on him. Like, yeah, this is all leading up to those hands getting got by Regal, and it's gonna be it's gonna be amazing. And it better happen in Long Island.
Give me what I want.
You gotta give the director what he wants, man. I rather not fuck with the director on that. No, sir. Sid Nero.
Before I get into this, I just want to ask Chris something. So a couple of weeks ago, right, on the Wrestling Delorean, when he had that matchup with Wheeler Yuta, I said something that people have been saying that it's fucking crazy that I even said this. I said that the body, like the way that he built his body up in the time off that he was, and the way he was wrestling in the ring, and just the way he looked, reminded me a lot of Chris Candido. Am I crazy for thinking that?
He's getting a little puffy. He's not as short as the Belladonnas or Bodydonnas. I'm
talking more like ECW, Triple Threat Chris Candido.
I'd have to watch more footage of this version of Max. He's definitely very technical, very smooth in that technicality. I'd almost say like Lance Storm-esque. But body physique wise, yeah, like I can see that a little bit. But I'd have to watch like both of their matches like back to back to compare him to like someone like Candido, who was a great technical wrestler, who was also a little fast, kind of a medium flyer at times. So I also don't know specifically who MJF's like wrestling influences are. I know who his trainers are, but I don't know who he like aspired to be when he was younger. So it could be the people that we're naming.
I know. I said Candido. I know Dom, the South Philly Psycho. He agreed. He was like, he sees Candido, but everyone else was like, "You see Skip, the Body Don, and MJF? You're fucking crazy. You don't know what you're talking about." Like,
casuals,
calm the fuck down. Exactly. I was talking about the Triple Threat, ECW. I'm not talking about the Body Donnas that Skip. Out of here. But anyway, thank you. I just wanted to know what you thought about that. But this was a masterclass in promo work and storytelling. This was amazing. MJF just once again finds a way, even though he's the most hated heel, finds a way to make you feel sympathetic for him. He did this with the feud with CM Punk with the whole "I was your fan and you turned your back on me." And
it's like the same speech. He's very bitter at people that he didn't get handouts from.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I don't like that, but that's the character. That's the brat character. That's the. Can I say? I'm not going to say it. I'll abbreviate it. That's like I think Moxley called him like the spoiled suburban brat. That is what it is. That is the JP character, and y'all know what I'm trying to say, but won't. But yeah, that is the character.
I totally agree.
He's totally bitter that he doesn't get handouts.
But even though like it comes off as like spoiled, it's still like the way he portrays these stories. You feel that sympathy for him, and he is a master at 26, like you said, at playing with people's emotions. Like I'm watching this and I'm like, yo, this shit is deep. And I gotta tell you, I've been very vocal the last couple weeks here and on the DeLorean saying that I feel like AEW needs to tell stories more. They need stories that are impactful and is going to keep you to wanting to watch. Like it's cool to have your dream matches every week, but when the stories are not hitting like that, it's like how often is someone going to tune in just to see a dream match? These stories are what people get invested in, and I think that this was, like I said, a masterclass on how to tell a story. Him and Regal are just amazing like foils for each other, especially with the history of MJF getting that tryout with the WWE and Regal asking to see a video and a promo from him every month, and then he just like turns it on him. Like this is all stuff that you could go back and prove that MJF was telling the truth. He did do extra work for WWE. We all saw the video of Samoa Joe coming out in NXT Brooklyn, and MJF was a security guard and he pushed MJF because MJF was walking in front of him. We've seen him do the promo, the extra work where he dressed up like the Demon during one of Finn Balor's entrances in NXT TakeOver. So this is all stuff that you could prove. This is not things that you could go back and like fact check them and say, oh, well, obviously it's fake because MJF wasn't in WWE. You could prove these things because it's true. And I think that the best stories are the ones that have truth to them. So I think that this is going to be something that takes AEW to continue to push on these stories to the next level. But it made me way more invested already in MJF, and I was already invested in him and everything he was doing. But boy, did this really like hit a home run for me. I love this segment, and I even put in, I forgot some group chat I was in. I was like, yo, I've been very vocal on AEW. There's a bunch of group chats.
So many fucking group chats.
I said I've been very vocal on AEW, and I've always been a fan of AEW, but lately I've been like, just critiquing it a lot more. But this really made me fall in love with AEW again, because I don't think you would see a promo like this in WWE. Whether Triple H or Vince McMahon was running it, you wouldn't see shit like this in WWE. So I think that this is why I love a company like AEW taking these chances.
And I love at the beginning of the promo, the blatant reference. He didn't even hide it. He said, when I was trying out for WWE, there was no, like, when I was trying out for that other company or that company up north or Triple H's company, he just fucking said it. And they referenced the tryouts and they referenced Regal working there in an actual event and guys who worked there at the time. Yeah. And I love that there's no shame in that. I understand, like, I guess from a Vince point of view, if the reality doesn't exist, it's not competition and you don't mention it. You never hear like Batman references in the X-Men comics, at least that often. And I get that. But the truism, the reality of AEW, the sports part of it. Yeah, I like that kind of shit.
Yeah, me too. They take chances that you wouldn't see anywhere else.
Right. Cool.
All right. Let me give my thoughts on this one. I'm going to say it right now. October 19th, 2022 at 11 it's already what? It's 11:54 Eastern Standard Time, 8:54 Pacific Standard Time, and 10:54 Central Standard Time. This promo was not only just the best, the Oscar goes to, yes, like I basically mentioned in the comments. But seeing that smirk from Regal, I see Regal turning on Moxley at Full Gear. I'm saying that right now. I see Regal fucking having MJ being MJF's new protege.
I like that.
After that fucking promo.
Yeah.
Because if you see how he told, I protected you, Sunshine.
I put my name on you.
I put my name on you. And then if we'll get to towards the end of the night, which, you know, it leads to more of, wait a minute, something's happening here that I'm like, wait the fuck up. Wait. No, wait, this can't be. But then again, this could be. Because this is the way, and no pun intended, Johnny Gargano, this is the way. But I think this is the way for Moxley to exit right out and take his vacation. But who knows? Now the fucking TK hired his fucking wife. Maybe because he felt sorry. Hey, you know what? I keep your husband here for so long. You know what? Let me get your job. Might as well be backstage.
It would suck if you finally get your vacation, but now your wife has to work.
Now your wife has to work. I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah.
I think that was the case. You see, look, even Dan is agreeing with me. Yes, which we're not going to talk about the segments. We're going to wait until after we're done with them. We'll talk about them. But I feel that could be something they could go with. Just because seeing William Regal, I swear it looked like William Regal wanted to kiss him. He's like, damn, that all little my little sunflower, that was me when I was your age. I'm pretty sure it was. I guarantee it does remind William Regal of himself when watching MJ cut that promo. Mm-hmm. It does. If we go back to looking at Regal's career, early stages of his career, you know, even in WCW, his promos were really that fucking insane.
And also, if you look at his character in WCW, Lord Steven Regal, he was above everybody, and he was like Your Majesty, you know what I mean? So it's not too far-fetched that he could relate to MJF's confidence and feeling like he's better than everyone else, because Lord Steven Regal in WCW was the guy who had his nose up in the air and was better than everybody else. So I think that there's a lot of similarities there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, indeed. Right. Now let's get into this very quick. I just want to get your guys' thoughts on. I put out the wrong picture. Jesus Christ. This is the one. Very quick. Yay or nay? FTR Swerve. This is FTR's house, bitch. How about that? How about that, Vato Loco? Director, yay or nay?
You lose your title shot, so you get a title shot? Yeah, sure. How about it? You lose your belts and you get, yeah. I mean, okay. It's just another name on FTR's notch they're about to grab, so is what it is. It'll be a good match. I don't have no reason not to like the match. Rankings don't matter. Corey has never wrestled in either of the companies or that any of these belts are for. So cool.
Yeah.
At least as far as I know.
All right. De Niro, yay or nay?
I mean, I'm with it. It's just another matchup. I think that the real money matchup is FTR going for the AEW titles, but I don't think you want to take it off of the Acclaim so quickly. So these are just little feuds you could put FTR in to continue building that up while the Acclaim could get some title defenses under their wing.
Okay. All right. And then now we can move on to the Ring of Honor World Championship. Of course, the Gajot, the Gajot, the Tom Brady of professional wrestling. And I'm going to keep on saying it because he is. Even the directors made the best quote last week and trademarking director, but say it.
I did? What I say?
Again. You got to say it again.
I don't know what I said.
You said it. For the different teams, but winning every ring. Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I forget what I said, but go back and flip it. But yeah, like
say it again. Huh?
Say it again.
I have no idea what I said. It was a whole week ago. Bro, I don't even know what day it is.
It's October 19th. But
right.
man.
Sure.
I'll clip this one too, just for that.
No idea what I said.
That's why I love the right. That's why I love you. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Tom Brady of professional wrestling defending his Ring of Honor World Championship versus Dalton Castle, which, by the way, great interest from Dalton. That's always been his fantastic interest. A lot of people really are 50-50 with Dalton, but let me tell you something who are not Ring of Honor World fans. Go back to the archives. Look for it. This man build his career of what he has done from the beginning in time for Ring of Honor to where he's at, and he deserves it to be where he's at. And I know that I guarantee you, and mark my words, and I know people are going to probably give me shit about it, but when Dalton Castle stepped into that ring with a Gajot, he went because he never thought he will face a high caliber star just like Chris Jericho. And I'm going to say this right now, this was an instant classic, old school, heel face storytelling in-ring matchup that, for God fucking sakes, we come to say it, younger person to pay attention to John Moxley, pay attention to Chris Jericho, pay attention to even Dr. Castle, how he sold it. Pay attention to the story. Learn how to tell fucking stories. This is how you can tell a story. And this was fantastic. Loved it overall. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that his little minions attacking Jake Hager. Yeah. It was just hilarious, but I enjoyed it. Jericho really made him look good, and also Dalton made Jericho look good as well. And then of course we saw the aftermath. Jericho, of course, he mentioned he's going to go over everybody, all the Ring of Honor former world champions.
It's impossible.
Which is impossible. Good luck with that, buddy. And you try to go for Ian Riccaboni. Ian Riccaboni, no! I just saw you on Sunday on New Japan Strong. But no. And then we see Jerry Lynn, and Jerry Lynn got tombstone.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, wow.
I thought we were going to see a possible Jerry Lynn coming out of retirement to go against Chris Jericho, but then maybe that was just a way of taking out another champion. I don't see Jerry Lynn coming out of retirement, but in their prime, that matchup would be fire.
Did it take it away?
I like this matchup. I think that AEW needs to stop fucking around and sign Dalton Castle full time, because I found out that he's not even signed to Ring of Honor or AEW, which is insane because the guy is $1 million talent, if you ask me. I've been watching Dalton Castle since he was a young prospect in Ring of Honor, and he came in with the boys and all that. First of all, I like the fact that they gave him like a wannabe instrumental version of Radio Gaga for his theme song, which is awesome.
Yes,
When you think of him, you think of someone eccentric like a Freddie Mercury. So I think that that's awesome to have that a part of the package. He looked like $1 million in this matchup, and Chris Jericho really made him look good. They had a great matchup, and now the only thing is like, who's next? Like, I want to see more former Ring of Honor champions come in. I like this. It shows the history of the title without having to like just show video packages and tell people, oh, well, this guy and this guy and this guy held it. you have people come in and saying, hey, you know, since I'm a former champion and I held that title with honor, I want to, you know, put honor back to that title. I was saying yesterday during Tim King's AEW recap, I was saying I would like to see them go like way back in the day and start bringing in some real former Ring of Honor champions, bringing Low Key for a matchup to go against Chris Jericho, first ever Ring of Honor champion. Hell, bring in Davey Richards, who's been advocating for a shot at that title against Chris Jericho. Right now, Eddie Edwards is not on Impact Wrestling. Bring it back and Eddie Edwards for a one-off. Like, why not? One thing I would like to see, though, is if Chris Jericho continues to take out AEW personnel, a former Ring of Honor champion who was my favorite Ring of Honor champion and also a former Ring of Honor commentator could come back, and as someone who's no longer with the WWE, I would like to see Nigel McGuinness come back and have some sort of part in this storyline.
I know that he will probably never be cleared to wrestle again due to unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, but I could see, like, you know, him trying to take out the commentators, and then Nigel McGuinness comes out and Chris Jericho backs off because he knows that this is one commentary that will hit back.
Yeah, like write that into the script that you literally cannot have contact with Nigel McGuinness, and I won't get into anything else. But yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Bring in Logan.
Yeah. Again, just like the storyline with Tony Storm, he is going through former champions. It was brought up during the broadcast, but he did it unintentionally with honor. He sent Jerry Lynn back to Living Dangerously 99, and I think there's no reason Jerry Lynn probably can't for a final match. I don't know if he's like injured or if he's just old or has a bad neck or whatever, but if those aren't pending circumstances, I don't see why he couldn't come back for this one good one. It doesn't even have to be a full match. It'd be like half a match and then like a run-in for interference and cut the ring time in half just to, you know, advocate like whatever wrestling that Jerry Lynn isn't willing to do.
Jerry Lynn did say he has a podcast. I don't know if he still does it, but he had a podcast with Mikey Whipwreck, and they asked him on the podcast, would you ever come back? And, you know, every wrestler who says they retired is never fully retired. And He said the only time, and this is way before AEW, this was like 2017 maybe. He said the only time I'll ever come back is if it's on national broadcast TV, and that will never happen. Now he's on national broadcast TV, so, I mean, that would be interesting.
Also, check out this highlight reel of Dalton Castle.
Good. I'll be right back. You guys, I'll be right back. This is gonna give me a minute. Keep talking about this. I'll be right back.
Wait, one more time. There it is. Yep, I love that. It's totally gone from Zoolander. No one got the reference but me, and I'm cool with that.
That was a funny moment too in the beginning.
Yeah, I was like, he's doing the Hans. Zip it, Zane. Yeah, I mean, what's the next? Do you got control over the scroll? The scroll? What's the next topic?
Let me see. So the next topic, where are we at? Oh, the next topic is the main event.
Cool.
So John Mock, let me see. Let me
okay, so other champions, real quick. So other champions Jericho can go through. I mean, Joe is technically working for AEW right now.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the most prestigious Ring of Honor champion of all time, the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion of all time. There's a lot, like Dan in the comments also said that Matt Taven is now in Ring of Honor. I mean, in AEW, former Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah, he's in the Kingdom, right?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting though. I would like to see them bring back like some obscure like names, like a Low Key and
like Marty Scurll.
I don't think he'll ever come back. I don't think he's ever Ring of Honor champion.
Oh, he wasn't. Oh, I thought.
Yeah, that was the whole controversy. He was supposed to win it, or he would have been the better choice to win it, but then they gave it to Matt Taven.
Right. All right. So I was half right.
Dan says there's 7 former world champions he still has to face who are employed by AEW. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Don't forget the sit down with Danielson and Wheeler Yuta. We will definitely talk about that. Yeah. But yeah, I think that, you know, the whole them showing Tyler Black and Kevin Steen and all these guys on the video package, and then having Chris Jericho say that he's going to run through every former Ring of Honor champion, and then showing guys who are clearly signed to the competition. It's just impossible. I
mean, technically, I really do miss Jared KO or Y2JKO or whatever the fuck. I love that. You just made the list. It was such good TV, man.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. Like, it would be awesome to see just other names be brought in. But also, how long do you go with this before you have a concrete storyline for Jericho and a concrete feud for Jericho?
Right.
Low Key was the very first. But yeah, I think that it's going to be interesting to see who's next in this and where they do go with this.
Who's next?
You're next.
What about you, director?
Oh, I said Joe. I said Joe's already on the island. So that would make sense. I don't see in a realistic world where Jericho could beat Joe clean, but Jericho's not in the business of winning clean, so it's totally possible.
But were you happy with the performance of Dalton Castle?
Yeah, this is my first time actually seeing him perform, and I'm sure he's had better matches. So I can see where he would definitely have the talent to be better than what he showed that night.
The match where he won the title from Cody at Ring of Honor Final Battle, that's a matchup you should check out if you're a fan of Dalton Castle. He was.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the character.
Really good.
I love that he kind of looks like he's kind of doing like Brian Kendrick's heroin hero dad.
Yeah. Very flamboyant. Love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. It's fucking great. Yes, he said. Oh, I forgot Dalton had a. Yes, he does have a bad back.
Yeah, he broke his back.
He broke his back.
And he still had a peacock or whatever that finisher was.
Yeah, he had a broken back. I forgot how he injured it. It was like something outside of wrestling, and then that's when he started wearing that back brace during his matches.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now time to move on with the main event of Dynamite.
Real quick though, I know I know Dan wanted us to talk about Danielson and Wheeler Yuta. I think that's also, from that little promo, that sit down with Renee. Real quick, I think that just shows that he was right about the implosion of the Blackpool Combat Club, because it's going from all angles. It's not just the Jon Moxley storyline with William Regal and MJF, but on the other side of it, Danielson and Wheeler Yuta seem like they're gearing up for a matchup themselves.
This is why I'm saying that how he mentioned on the comments, he said it might dismantle, BCC, and I think that's going to be the outburst was the beginning of which we'll get to towards the end, but let's get into the main event before we get into that, because I want to get into the main event, and this is the one, of course.
Did the sit down come after the main event? We should.
Yes, it does.
The sit down was before the main event.
Yeah, the sit down was before, but the aftermath after this match is what we're gonna talk about, because yeah. But yeah, CAW World Championship on the line, Jon Moxley versus Adam Hangman Page. Of course, the match was not, of course, people what they expected. There was an incident that occurred throughout the match with that lariat clothesline that Moxley gave to Hangman, and it was a scary moment. And I'm glad to hear that Hangman already made his comments. He's okay. He's recovering from his concussion, but he was already knocked out. If you look at it in that TV,
I haven't had a chance to rewatch it, so it's like one of those things. It's one of those things where, like, you don't know that it happened until after it happened. And you go back and watch it, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And shout out to Taz for being the only one with a fucking heart.
Thank you.
Like, God damn,
Thank you.
They just wanted to cut to, all right, well, let's talk about what's going to be on Rampage and Dynamite next week. And Taz is like, can we take a second? Like, someone just seriously got hurt in the ring. And he even mentioned that he broke his neck in the ring one time and had to be stretchered out. So, like, this is something that's hitting home for him. But it's like, damn, like, it just felt like, all right, well, as the medical staff checks on Hangman Page, this week on Rampage, we're good. It's like, yo, calm down. Like, damn, someone literally just got hurt seriously in the ring.
Yeah, it was extremely bad.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He landed on his head. He was trying to take
my God.
It was the King Kong lariat. He goes to the spin and hits his head on the mat.
Mm-hmm.
It's nasty.
Even Mox is selling like he's KO'd, like, for real.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. But the way Page landed on his neck.
Yeah.
Oh, he went sideways. He got head kicked by the earth.
I never heard that one.
Oh,
sorry, I don't mean to laugh for such a serious moment, but I never heard that one.
It wasn't so much I'd assume it was a lot of the lariat itself, but he landed sideways against the ring. Oh, God. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was.
No, I was never doubting it. I just had to see it, knowing that was
yeah. No. Yeah. But it was, I didn't, right when he landed, he's sideways in his neck towards the ring, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he's out. Because I didn't see his.
I can't watch this. That's like, I can't eat. I can watch a lot of stuff. That is bad.
It's bad. And
I've watched like the Sid jump off the top rope like 1,000 times, but that's because it's unintentionally funny because we know he's okay and that's like not a life-threatening injury.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, that's a rough one, buddy.
This, on the other hand, we didn't know if it was a concussion, it was a neck issue, we didn't know, and then it was just like he was unresponsive. So it was a very scary moment at the end of Dynamite.
Yeah. One thing I am happy at least, which it took him forever, but I understand during the learning process, so I can't really give him too much shit for the AEW, the production side of the area. But seeing that the camera was still kind of focusing on Hangman, what are you doing? And the fucking ref, why didn't you throw a fucking X? Like, you saw, okay, you're checking. Hey, no, throw the X.
I'm watching it right now to see the sequence of events. Ref's checking him.
Yeah, but did you see that? He doesn't.
He does wave in medical staff immediately.
And the doctor is sitting right there. The doctor's right at ringside.
He goes over to Mox and tells him he's out. He double checks him. He does touch a body pack at some point because they do have the in-ear monitors.
Yeah.
So there might be a signal on the body pack that's like an emergency alert button, like a life alert. That'd surprise me, but that'd be, pretty clever. But I think the ref, there's no delay in the ref's reaction, so I'm not going to come down on him for anything.
Yeah, and then the first thing he did, like I said, he did wave off the staff, the medical staff right there. The doctor is sitting right at ringside. So
yeah, he communicates everything, in my opinion, pretty efficiently. So yeah, that's my personal opinion. I'm literally watching it in real time right now, and this all happens within like 20 seconds of getting the actual doctor in there. So,
and there's Hangman's response right there for everybody to wonder. Hey, thanks everyone for being so nice. I'm doing all right.
That is the least cowboy thing I've ever read.
Had a nice panini for lunch.
You even knew what I was saying. He could have said a beer or a brisket. He said panini.
I love panini. By the way, I love panini, man. Everyone doesn't have a panini.
Not the point, bro. He could have been like, I got a nice ribeye.
Yeah, right.
I just wanted to say that. Then gotta be hungry.
Listen, I'm gonna go to cowboy shit, but first, where's my Starbucks?
I need my pumpkin spice latte first before I put on my cowboy boots.
I need my wheatgrass while I ride my horse.
Oh man! Insert perspective. Yet merciless quote about unfinished business here. So I'm happy. Thank God that we're all happy that he's doing great. He's doing better. Even though this is not the finish that we wanted, but that doesn't matter. The whole point, and I like what you mentioned, De Niro, is just that everybody was just. I think Excalibur's first. I didn't say shit. He was just really, really quiet, and most of the time, I like that Taz took the initiative and said, "Look, guys, hey, no, this is serious, guys. Hey, no, wait, hold up, man. Yeah, look." Like you could tell that he was trying to get the camera point at me. Don't look over there. Point at me.
Yeah.
And I like how this is why. People, AEW fans who are not a big fan of WWE, I'll give you the big finger. Why do I tell you that? Taz mentioned where obviously his neck injury, but also he's seen other stunts wrong that ever occurred in the ring in WWE when he was a commentator at SmackDown. So it's to say, Taz has that knowledge, that experience. He's been through that already. So shit, come on, like. I'm happy that Taz took the initiative and say, "Look, guys, focus on me. And then do not focus on the ring right now." And seeing them, they took the bottom rope, the third rope. They loosened it up to take him out of the stretcher. Yeah. I was trying to look for the picture. There's some fans put a picture of Moxley. How every sport does one kneel down and pray. Moxley was doing that in his corner.
But then his promo was like the complete opposite.
Because he has
up, but this wrestling shit happens. It's like
kudos to him for at least they're on live television, so you're gonna have to try to do something that way, So I give him credit for him to do that, and really, really makes you credit for it. Then we just see the outcome after that. I think this was supposed to be after the match. That's why they did it now so quick, which was the whole MJF coming out. That's when MJF was ready to cash in his chip, and then he didn't. He ran back, and this is where I said, "Hold it." He gave Regal the chip. Why the fuck did you give Regal the chip? And that's what I'm saying. He's gonna turn his back on Moxley and the BCC. He's gonna join with fucking MJF. And MJF
could have saw Regal just giving Moxley not giving what's called MJF the brass knucks out the side pocket.
Yes.
Like.
Throwing it in like Wardlow used to do.
And and now we're gonna get it. We're fucking. He announced He's cashing his chip in at AEW Full Gear. Man, De Niro, let's start from, of course, the beginning of the main event to where we're at right now with his announcement cashing in. Give us your thoughts. Break it down for us, brother.
So, beginning of the main event, I like the way it started out with Hangman Page going into the crowd to meet Moxley there.
And Moxley literally going, "Oh shit!" If you watch that clip, it almost seemed genuine.
Yeah, it took him off guard. I love the whatever that like scaffolding area was or whatever it was, like that
mezzanine. Yeah, like, it's technically called the vomitorium. The exit.
I wouldn't not have repeat that right now. The vomitorium.
Is that what it was? With vomitorium or with a V? With a V or a B?
With a V, right? Vomitorium. So the word vomit, like to puke, it actually comes from the Colosseum, the exits, the big square that you leave that he moonsaulted off of.
Yeah.
Those were called vomitoriums first for the Latin word to exit. And then we named puking after those.
Because it's exiting through your...
Exactly. It was the name of the arena exit first, not the puking first.
Well, I appreciate you explaining that because like you learned something new every day. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's something I know because I like weird shit like that.
So the vomitorium.
Yes.
Oh, see, director's busting on Matt Callis. You're giving us, teaching all those.
You want to look
more like a Matt Striker. Remember when he was the teacher?
Oh. yes.
He was like, he would have like a big right there.
Okay, I see now.
Yeah, and then Page moonsaulted off of that.
Yeah,
and next picture. There you go.
Crazy.
Boom. Exactly. God, that's sick. That's so much higher up than it looked.
Look at the lesson of a day. There you go.
Fuck, he landed on his feet for that. Fucking hell.
Yeah, insane. Now you could hurt your ankle or your knee.
You see this guy on the far left middle?
Yeah.
The gray sweater with his phone. I want that footage.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Hey, that guy. I want your dude. For real.
For real. But yeah, that was a great moment. That could have ended bad too. Like he, like you say, landed on his feet. Could have definitely like blew out an ankle, like landing there. But
anything.
Yeah. It was a great match. It was a great, it felt like a sprint. Moxley was bleeding, of course. Until the big clothesline happened, and then Hangman was injured. It just sucks the way it happened. I like I was trying to say before, like Moxley showing respect was nice, and then him getting on the mic saying, this is wrestling, shit happens. It was like, all right, that's like mixed messages. Because
also, I think the mic fed back, and he goes like, "This show really is going downhill."
Yeah, which was
kind of fun.
I was watching it with my girl, and she was like, "I don't think you're supposed to say that." I was like, "Well,
I don't think he ever scripts anything, which I kind of love."
Yeah, he's a loose cannon. Whatever he says is probably like straight off the rip. Yeah. But it was just unfortunate that it had to end that way. I saw Moxley winning this matchup anyway, but I was upset that it ended up this way and never want to see anyone get hurt for sure. The ending with MJF was interesting. When I saw him come out in his regular clothes, I figured he was probably going to not cash in, but tease the crowd. But then I was confused with him giving Regal the chip. But I'm happy that it's going to go down in Full Gear. I'm going to try and get tickets for Full Gear. It's literally 45 minutes away from me. So hopefully, I'll see that live, but it's just like you said, the inexperience of AEW. This is the first time they were in a situation like this, so I guess they figured, that we got to do something. We still have 15 minutes of airtime, so we got to do something. So, yeah, it was just a little weird with Moxley going on the mic and then the feedback and then saying weird shit like, "Oh, this shit happens and this show's going downhill," and then you got the commentators trying to run down Rampage, and then Taz is the only one with a heart. Like I said, I was like, all right, can we take a second? Something really serious just happened. And then the whole thing with MJF was a little confusing until the end where he clarified that he's going to do it the right way, like William Regal wants him to do it. And then he's going to do it at Full Gear. But it was I don't know. It just felt really weird, but I can't blame them for it because they did not expect this to happen. So it's hard to really give an opinion on the ending of the show.
Yeah.
That was a lot of talking just for me to say, I don't know. Sorry.
I know it's tough because of what happened, but I'm with you too, man. Director, the floor is yours, my brother.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that Regal was going to turn thing until you brought it up. So, I mean, I'm skeptical hippo-wise on that. Like, that may happen. I think the original message of MJF giving the chip to Regal was like, here's a guarantee that you know now that it's in your possession that I am going to cash it in. No surprises, no run-ins, no last minute whatever. And that could still play into Regal turning on the Black Country Club. Whatever. Black Liverpoolians.
What if Regal cashes in now because he has the chip?
Yeah, right. That's kind of how it works, right? Not really. We don't know. It's basically, I mean, it's literally the Money in the Bank briefcase at this point.
Much.
I don't know about the Regal thing. I kind of don't want that to happen. I think it's too soon for Blackpool to break up. Essentially, what I do want to happen though, and this will touch base real quick on the promo interview that Renee Paquette did, which was awesome, that she's in that position now. It should be Daniel Garcia. Wheeler Yuta needs to go. I just don't like him on the mic. His personality is just not there. He's good in the ring, but Daniel Garcia is much better everywhere else. He's a better fit. It should have been him the whole time, in my opinion. And if they can fix that for me, that'd be cool. Have them wrestle for a spot. Like, if you want to be in, you got, to beat the man, you got to beat the man. And that would be really cool for me to see, because this is like the new girlfriend and the old girlfriend fighting over a place. In I don't know how that works. I've never had either one of those. But yeah, have Garcia and Wheeler fight each other for a place in Blackpool. That's obviously not what's happening right now, because Garcia is kind of back in Jazz as a full-fledged member. But they could write the storyline to go that direction.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I do agree that I would much rather Daniel Garcia than Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, he's just more passionate on the mic. He comes off as genuine. Something about Wheeler, like, on the mic, just I don't know. It just seems contrived and forced. Like, he's like, hey, my character never talks. I'm not supposed to talk. Like, just talk. He's like, but I don't know what to say. Just say something. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I get from Wheeler.
I feel like in ring he's good, but he's still trying to figure out.
He's fantastic in the ring. He's just not. There's nothing. He's, like I said, he makes Steve Blackman look like The Rock.
Steve Blackman's a bounty hunter now.
I fucking love everything you just said.
Oh,
I give up. Steve Blackman's on his way.
If he kicks in the door, it's like, hey.
It's me. Yeah.
Even if it's not me, it's gonna be me.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it, man. Oh man. All right, two more things before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here.
See BlackmanBailBonds.com for all your extracurricular activities. He's got a YouTube trailer. I'm gonna watch this as soon as we're done.
Yeah, I heard he has like a YouTube
he
show
did
about
not age at all. What the fuck? He looks younger than when he was in the Attitude Era. That doesn't make any sense.
I gotta see a picture.
Yeah. Just go to Blackman. I'll post it in the group chat.
All right, cool.
He looks good. He looks young. I mean, he doesn't look old, I guess.
All right. Now we got the breaking news. Of course, they still released from AEW.
Oh, I didn't know that. This is breaking news. Thank God.
So now he is gone.
What was his role anyways? Was he like a talent agent or some shit, or a scout, or
talent agent or producer? That's what he was.
Oh wow. Was he there this whole time, or did he just come in with CM Punk?
He started.
He was there.
Yeah.
What?
So
he started this year.
Did he come with Punk, or was he there before?
He just got. He was CM Punk was here first, so
he probably brought him in as
CM Punk brought him in, yeah.
As a pro quo. Okay.
So by the way, how this story?
Nothing lost, nothing missed.
No, there isn't, because I mean, he's gone. What else is next? I mean, but now that we know the updates so far, it's still in a long. What we know so far is still in a long process of see. The long ongoing legal battles, because someone is suing, of course, with the media scrum situation, and of course, what happened. And
let me guess who it is.
We already know. Yeah, we already know. Yes, we already know who's suing on that. But yeah, Ace Steel's gone.
Is Phil really suing again?
Yep.
Fuck.
And you know what?
When your bird can't cash your check, your lawyers do.
The bullshit is like, yo, Tony Khan brought out his contract. CM Punk is going to be making like $5 to $6 million for like the next 3 years to do nothing, and you still want to sue? Like, come on, man.
Because they're buying him out of his contract. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what it's. Yeah.
They did. They already did. Tony Khan already brought him out the contract.
I would love to know the grounds. Like, you didn't have ample security to protect me against your CFOs and shit like that. Like, what are the grounds for the lawsuit? Like, I should have had bodyguards. You didn't protect me from your guys, I guess.
Your office personnel attacked me.
Yeah, that's basically what I think probably is what it is. Yeah.
But I mean, who did he have on his side? A fucking cannibal? Ace
Yeah,
Steel
Ace
over
Steel.
here biting people.
Yeah,
Like,
right. Ace the animal. George the animal. Ace Steel. Am I right?
My man, if you look at the picture that Ivan,
Steel impression.
if you look at this picture that Ivan put up, like the guy screams cannibal. Like,
He looks like Ultimate Warrior, to be honest. I thought it was Jim Hyatt or Hewlett or whatever the fuck. Hewitt.
Hellwig.
Now that people want to know, besides when we want to the last one, want to know what the hell is the demographics of what happened, because it's the first time how De Niro mentioned on the Wrestling Delorean earlier today, head-to-head for the first time in quite some time, NXT versus AEW. Here are your demographics, and these are legit ones. These are not Alvarez, Meltzers, nobody's, not Shamrock Saps. This is from Brandon Thurston, who works in the network at all. He does not only just the professional wrestling, he does everything overall. So here are your numbers. Dynamite, 752,000 viewers. P 18 and 19 ratings were at 0.26, which is number 8 in the cable ratings from that. NXT, 676,000 viewers. The ratings were 0.18, number 12. So there you go. AEW won. So people want to know, AEW won in the demographics and in the viewership. So there you have it.
Well, here's the thing. Triple H, it was reported backstage that Triple H put all these main roster talents on NXT last night to compete with AEW, and losing in the ratings war on their own night was unacceptable. So I don't know if this leads to, Triple H being upset, but it was reported that the main word that Triple H gave to NXT was losing is unacceptable.
How do you control that?
I know, it's like you can't control that, but you would think, all right, first of all, AEW did not really do such a good job with letting people know that it's on Tuesday and it's not on Wednesday.
They didn't know until like Monday.
Exactly. So they didn't do such a good job with that. And then on top of that, NXT,
sport that is.
Yeah, NXT is a regular on Tuesday at this point. And then not only that, but this is a swooped up NXT because you have half of the main roster on NXT at this episode. And the company that came on your night, and it was rarely, I don't know. It just seems weird that it's going to be taken out on NXT like this because AEW right now is obviously the bigger product. But I can understand why Triple H is pissed off if, NXT loses on their home night with a lot of main roster talents on that show. NXT was promoted as a big deal this week, as AEW was barely promoted to be on Tuesday this week. So I can see why people would be pissed off, but I don't think it's take it out on anybody.
He should not be upset because even Brandon Thurston here said it, that this was the highest ratings that NXT had since August 16th. So despite of that, they still competed with the NBA and Major League Baseball, and so did AEW. So regardless, I mean, I give them both credit because they're still in that 15 categories because a lot of other platforms were way below that. Of course, you had the NBA, the MLB, the playoffs, NHL forgot too. So those are still there. So, I mean, you're competing with something that's a generic sports that people watch around the world. So I give them kudos to at least they're within the 15, regardless of who will rank who. I mean, it was expected anyways. Regardless, it was expected to see either one of them to win or lose. But what matters is what rank is where they're at. So you had from 8 to 12. So it's not much. 9, 10, 11, 12, four spots from one of each other.
Yeah.
It's just cool. It's there's nothing wrong with it. See, I will have to say that they have broadcasting the day to switch Okay. All right.
I missed that.
I know. I do miss switching the broadcast. I have to go back to one channel. No, I have two screens. That's why I have two screens. I
watch. I'm an indiscriminate audience member. I watch replays, so I just do whatever I want.
Last night was really nostalgic for me because when I started the podcast, it was not the Wrestling Delorean Podcast. It was called The Fight for Wednesday Night, and all I covered was Wednesday night AEW versus NXT. So it was a little nostalgic for me to watch NXT after AEW. But I mean,
and don't bother turning it to the other channel. A guy that used to work here, Mick Foley, wins their heavyweight champion. So stick around. WCW will be right back.
That'll put a lot of butts in the seat.
And that's the last time we ever heard of Tony Schiavone.
Until 2019.
That's literally fucking. I was alive and I watched that when it happened, and this is me.
I remember my dad was a WCW person, and I was a WWF kid. So he was watching WCW Nitro. And when I heard that, I ran into my mom's room. I had to watch WWF because my dad was like, "Oh, fuck McFoley." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Mom, put on Raw."
Water is wet. Yeah, God, I remember that like it was yesterday.
Oh, man.
All
right. And now, time then here, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost about to, we're getting towards the end here. But I'm going to have to bust Excalibur here right quick. Okay, man, don't forget to go ahead and check it into Friday Night Rampage. Because we got Davari versus for the SW Championship.
We should all try and see who can do it better.
All right. So I did one. So, all right. Who wants to try it? All right, let me try it first, and then we'll go around.
All right, cool.
All right, over here. All right, all right. We go. So don't forget to tune in to Friday Night Rampage. We got SW Championship Hook versus. Of course, we do have Rampage Penalty Ford versus William Nightingale, and of course, we do have Preston Bass versus Roosh, and the main event, of course, titles versus trademark, the Acclaim versus Varsity Athletes, live on Rampage and AEW on TNT. All right, who wants to go next?
I don't know.
Who wants to go next?
We have to have like a stopwatch.
You got it. All right. Well,
all right. That was, but I don't have the clicker to turn the script.
I'll go. You just. I'll do it quick. So you can do it.
All right. Let's go.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Coming up this Friday on AEW Rampage, FTW Champion Hook versus Trustbusters, Arya Davari. Rampage, Penelope Ford versus Will Nightingale this Friday. Rampage, AEW, Dark Order 10 returns, Preston Vance versus Roosh. The Acclaimed versus Varsity Athletes this Friday on Rampage.
Wait, hold on. When did they? That was pretty smooth. When did they start calling themselves the Varsity Athletes? Like,
I hate that. I thought it was our Varsity Blondes.
I was gonna say, like, what the fuck?
Who the fuck was that? Ethan Page and someone else? Who is that?
That's Paige and Josh the Good.
That's not even Paige. That's Tony Nese.
No, that's Tony Nese and Josh Woods.
And not Q2. Smart Mark Sterling.
Yeah.
I know this. I know Nese and Sterling are together. I don't know who this guy is in the front. Who's the guy with the bio?
Josh Woods.
Josh Woods from Ring of Honor. Former Ring of Honor champion.
I have no idea what that's all about. Yeah.
He was part of the foundation.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I'd watched 0 Ring of Honor in my life.
Okay.
I don't know where I was maybe I didn't have internet. There was a time where I was living in my car for like 2 months. Who knows?
Is your corazón abierto?
I will watch highlights. I mean, if Tony Khan buys a library and posts it, I'll watch pay-per-views or highlights or top 10.
I hope he does post the fucking video library. There's a lot of crazy ass shit in that library.
Yeah, I know there's updates, something to do with 2023 in Ring of Honor. I don't know what that was though. I think he said there's updates coming soon, but that's all I heard.
I will get into that. All right, ready, De Niro?
Let's try this.
All right, here we go. 1, 3, 2, 1, go for it.
This week on AEW Rampage, we have FTW Champion Hook versus Trustbusters Arya Davari. We have Penelope Ford versus Will Nightingale. Dark Order 10 Preston Vance versus Roosh. AEW World Tag Team Champions, The Acclaim versus the Varsity Athletes.
The last one was good. You're getting the groove there.
Man. I don't know how Excalibur does that shit week in, week out, and on national TV. Like, no pressure. Go 1,000 miles per hour.
They don't hit forward on it.
I don't know. He doesn't. But yes, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that's coming up Wednesday. January.
Big Man, Daniel Bryan, Jake Cargill, Wardlow, FTR, Tony Storm, Orange Cassidy, John Moxley, Adam Page, Jungle Boy, Chris Jericho, Saraya, MJF, and of course John Moxley. AEW Rampage, Kia Forum, Wednesday, January 23rd, Los Angeles, California. Tickets available on AEWtickets.com and Ticketmaster.com. I think I said Moxley.
You said January 23rd. It was January 11th, 2022.
What is it? Get in the DeLorean and go back to the 11th.
He mixed it up. January. He put January 23rd, 2011.
I did?
Yes.
No.
That's something I would do, though. That's something I would do.
Oh my goodness. But yes, the COD family will be there for sure, man. We're going to be there next 11, 2020 at the Great Western Forum, Kia Forum, not longer Great Western Forum at the KEW Rampage. We will be there, and I'm looking forward because I want to see everybody there together, the family. I went last year, but this, it was this year. My apologies, but next year, we're gonna go with everybody. So I will make sure. And De Niro, you'll be coming to LA with us, so you'll be going with us. So that's gonna happen. We're gonna make it happen.
Oh
yes, wow. We're gonna make it happen. We gotta have a reunion. So
there
there you have it. Yes, hell yeah. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this another incredible episode 124. Please do not forget to follow and subscribe to our social medias. Of course, the Circle Debate, the Wrestling Delorean, and Fate Destroyed, ladies and gentlemen. Follow Fate Destroyed. Keep an eye on them because this Friday, of course, I don't know the spoilers, but they're filming something, and then keep an eye on their social media platforms.
Well, no, we can spoil everything. We're filming a music video for 47 this Friday, and there's going to be a live event that you can pay for, subscribe to. It's going to get you exclusive behind-the-scenes autographs, giveaway, exclusive question and answers during the shoot. It's on our website, FDS on FDS Band now on Facebook. I think that's the most updated version right now. Is FDS Band on Facebook. The event page will have the link, and the video comes out. I'm not too sure when the video comes out.
Can't wait.
Man. I can't wait. And I can't wait for tomorrow, too. Don't forget, tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We'll be back here live as we're back. I know it's been a long hiatus for the MMA episode, but we're back as the director himself will be hosting, as we'll be hosting UFC 280 as Oliveira versus Makovic. As we'll be breaking down the card, along with the Tapology World Champion, Dan Bakley, which director has a challenge because that guy has his predictions on point. So that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, which is cool. It's fine. No worries. But yes, that'll be tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for that because we'll be here for that live episode for MMA with Coach Rage and with the host, with the director Chris Kennedy, and with Dan Bakley and myself. And we'll see what is. I'm the reigning champ. Oh, look at that.
Dem's fighting words.
Dem's some fighting words, director.
Some people can lose and they have to get used to it. And it won't be me.
Subtle. It's the subtlety.
It's the subtle. And don't forget to tune in, of course, as well as Thursday. We'll have another exclusive out. You'll be guys will be watching soon. Friday, I will be alongside with De Niro. Right after Wrestling Delorean Podcast, I will be with him giving our predictions for PCW Ultra once again for Set in Stone for all you SoCal Pro Wrestling fans. Do not forget to purchase your tickets now before they're selling out hotcakes. I will be there myself. Hopefully the director will join me. He has an opportunity. But be there. The tickets are right on the description below. Click on PCWUltra.com. Buy your tickets now because they're almost sold out. From Rose already sold out. They only have a couple of limited tickets, seats left. And you do not want to miss it. For anybody who's listening or watching, make sure. We appreciate you guys. So let me just hit that outro button because it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. Too bad Matt Cal isn't here, but I'll still play it.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Yes, we're rolling out of here, man. Yes.
I love it.
Oh, I love you too, Lee. We miss you too. We miss you too. But yes, once again, ladies and gentlemen. Para todas las áreas y plataformas que nos escuchan, muchas gracias por escuchar el Circo de Debate. Saludos a toda Latinoamérica, de México, Salvador, de Guatemala, Colombia, Nicaragua, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Muchas gracias por todo el apoyo que los han dado aquí en Circo de Debate. No se olviden de suscribir a nuestro canal y síguenos aquí también en nuestro canal para nuevo contenido que vamos a tener para ustedes. Sigue también aquí al director, el guitarrista, el cantante que toca para la banda Faith Destroyer. Síguenos a ellos también en sus audio plataformas y síguenos en el Facebook, del YouTube. Y no se olvide para el noviembre 11 que Faith Destroyer va a sacar una nueva canción. Escúchala y pues yo también estoy esperando escuchar esa canción. No se olvide. It's all our European listeners. Guten Tag, mir geht es dir? That's good. Choose to Germany, Belgium, Switzerland, Czech Republic, Sweden, Ukraine. That I know that you guys are listening to us, which I appreciate you guys. I know bad times are out there, but thank you for taking the opportunity for listening to us in Estonia and the Philippines as well. Italy, the new fans from Italy now that we got. So Italy, Brazil, India, Romania, Fiji, Ireland now, Thailand, Vietnam. Thank you all guys for listening around the world, and of course here, the good old US of A as well, all over the world. Thank you. Gracias por todo los apoyos. But yes, De Niro, take it away so we can get the S out of it.
Hit that subscribe button. Wrestling Delorean Podcast, Circle Debate. We do a lot of big things on this channel. A lot of content coming out almost every single day. We have the Tuesday New Japan shows, Wednesday MMA shows, Thursday flagship show, Friday top 5, and then every Monday, Wednesday Friday you have the Wrestling Delorean Podcast. So a lot of content coming out of this channel. Hit that subscribe button. Everybody who's already subscribed, all the great debaters and all the Wrestling Delorean passengers, we love you guys, and thank you so much for supporting and riding with us always.
Absolutely. Director, any final words? Those are his final words.
I need the glasses. I don't have the glasses.
Damn it.
Hit him with the spike.
I used to do the acid drop with my finisher, except I didn't run up the turnbuckle. I just jumped off the top one. I didn't go like 1, 2, 3. I didn't boom, boom. I gave it to Samoa Joe. I lost, and I still fucking hit that move. It was dope.
That's awesome.
If you guys want to get the director Chris Kennedy interview, he's here.
I would go. I mean, yeah, we're looking to promote the new single 47. So anyone who has a music podcast or arts and entertainment podcast, we are down. It could just be me. It could be me and any one of the members. So yeah, hit me up. Instagram probably is the easiest way to find me. Chris Kennedy Guitars, for sure. We are down to promote on your podcast, and we won't even charge you.
Yeah.
Do people charge you? That sucks.
Fuck.
This is the only opportunity he won't charge you because I'm gonna be his accountant. I'm gonna make sure he charges for the next interview.
And he's from New York. He knows what he's talking about.
There you go. Yeah,
I don't know what that means. Wall Street, I guess.
I guess, right?
Stratton Oakmont was in Long Island, so that counts.
Exactly.
Oh, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back here tomorrow, man.
You can just go across. I know how to get there.
Hey, you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate it.
Takes 4 hours.
Instead of 13 hours.
Every time I have to go to work now, I have to take the ferry.
Fuck, really? From where to where?
Staten Island to Manhattan.
Oh, so, I mean, you see the Statue of Liberty like every day of your life?
Every day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get a billboard, actually, a digital billboard in Times Square for 47. So I want you, if you can, ever to get there, take a picture with it.
Oh, of course, 100%. Let me know when it's up.
Cool. If I have to pay for your bridge toll, is that what it's called?
Oh no, don't worry. The ferry's free, and I'm literally working like 10 minutes away from Times Square. I'll just walk over there during my break or something.
Dude, we gotta talk offline. I gotta know more about your life, man. I'm obsessed with Manhattan.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll
all
talk.
right, well, ladies and gentlemen, he's more obsessed in my life. That sucks, but that's
because I live a block away from you. I know everything. I can see your work from my window, homie.
You can wave to each other right now.
I can see his freeway. It's literally his freeway. The 170 South is right there.
So I don't get no love either here, man, but it's okay. It's okay.
I've been to your house. I've seen where you sleep.
Oh, that's true.
What a way to just.
What a way to end it. But then you have it, ladies and gentlemen. He's wearing my boxers, damn it. I gotta love Chris. But thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. We love you guys. Don't forget that here at the Wrestling Delorean Circle of Debate and Fake the Story, the whole League of Extraordinary Podcast, and the Wolfpack, we don't just do podcasts here, ladies and gentlemen. We fucking make history.
Must bid you adieu, a goodbye, mwah, and good night. Oh my God, it's so great. Bang! Yes!